Hello everybody, I am Sean McDonald. Movies are incredible works of art. They can make us feel all kinds of emotions, and to display these emotions, they use special effects. So today, I'm going to give you a short history of groundbreaking movies and special effects. The first surviving movie was created by Louis Le Prince, and is called The Roundhay Garden Scene. It was created in 1888. Even though it's only 2 seconds long, it's the oldest movie ever made. In 1885, the first movie to ever use a special effect is the execution of Mary Stuart. When they beheaded Mary Stuart, they used a fake head. It shocked many people back in the day. In 1996, The Haunted Castle came out, and it is the first horror movie to ever exist. The first movie to ever use stop motion is The Humpty Dumpty Circus. Stop motion is achieved when you put a figure and pose it into a position. Then you take a photo and you repeat this process until you get the illusion of motion. The first cartoon to ever exist is Phantasmagoria, 1908, and Gertie the Dinosaur, 1914. The way they did old cartoons is that they got a clear cell and they drew the sketch first, then they flipped it, then they painted it. And then they do multiple ones, get a clear painting background, and then put it on there, so now you won't have to change the background there. And voila, motion. In 1927, The Jazz Singer came out. It was the first movie to ever use music and sound. Uh-oh, watch out, it's a new challenger approaching, and his name is Walt Disney. He created Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie is the first cartoon to ever use music and sound. From 1930 to 1938, we got a whole bunch of new groundbreaking shorts. We got Flip the Frog Fiddlesticks, which came out in 1930. It is actually the first cartoon to ever use color. The color process is the same as the black and white cell animation, but instead of black and white, it is color. Look at my Sorcerer Mickey thing I did right here. Voila, look how nice it looks. But we'll get to that later. Many people believe that The Wizard of Oz is the first movie to ever use color, but it's actually Becky Sharp. Becky Sharp came out 2 years before The Wizard of Oz. A good short is The Old Mill. It was groundbreaking because they used the multi-plane camera. It's like the cell animation process, except there's multiple layers of the cell to give the illusion of depth. In 1938, Disney made the first ever American animated movie, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This movie was incredible for many reasons. One, it was the first animated movie, and two, it made people feel emotion. Because back in the day, people are like, how can 2D drawings make us cry, laugh, and feel scared? And Snow White did that to them. And now, animated movies are the new normal. From 1938 to 1985, we got a lot of groundbreaking movies. But since there's a lot of them, I'll do a quick mention of them. The Wizard of Oz popularized colored movies. The Thief of Baghdad is the first movie to ever use green screen. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is the first movie to ever be filmed in CinemaScope. The Ten Commandments, which came out in 1956, is known for having what people most call the greatest effect of all time, is when Moses parts the Red Sea. Cleopatra is the most expensive movie ever made. Jason and the Argonauts used live-action and stop-motion animation. Mary Poppins is known for its magical story and effects, like the cartoon characters and the flying umbrella scene. The first movie to ever use CGI is Westworld. Star Wars The New Hope popularized sci-fi movies. Indiana Jones is a really good movie, and it has my favorite effect of all time, the Melting Man. But we will come back to that later. I would also like to mention Where the Wild Things Are by Disney. Even though this is a rough pilot by Disney, it is actually really groundbreaking for the time, because it combined 2D animation and 3D animation. The Adventures of Walibi was the first ever 3D animated short ever, and introduces us to Pixar. Tron was a groundbreaking movie because it used CGI and cool special effects. Disney's The Black Cauldron was the first animated movie to ever use CGI and 2D. You could see right here with the boat that the boat is 3D, and The Black Cauldron is 3D too. There were a lot of groundbreaking movies in the 80s and 90s, so here are just some to name a few. Ghostbusters, E.T., Back to the Future, Alien, Home Alone, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Jurassic Park, Nightmare Before Christmas, Lion King, James and the Giant Peach, Titanic, The Matrix, and Fantasia 2000. Before I finish, I also want to show you what I created for my Genius Hour project. This is the Melting Man from Indiana Jones. I 3D printed a skull, then I dipped it in wax. I painted it, add the little details like the eyes, the mouth, the glasses, and the hat, and then let it melt. Well, you can see here, it really didn't work because the peach paint was latex, so the wax would melt, but the paint wouldn't melt off to show the skull. So I did a new one. 3D printed a new skull, dipped it in scented wax, and my mom did not like that because the whole house started to smell funny because of all the different scents. And voila, even though he looks a little orange, it's alright, it's perfect. Now, let's see him melt. Well, as you can see here, the effect went perfectly. A lot of people say Who Framed Roger Rabbit has the best live action and animation in any movie. They also use this same effect with Warner Bros. Space Jam. Toy Story is the first ever 3D animated movie, and it was a huge success. We got more 3D animated movies like Bugs Life, Monsters, Inc., and all the other Pixar movies. But now, 3D movies are now the new normal. Some quick mentions of the early 2000 movies are Shrek for, well, being Shrek, Spider-Man for popularizing superhero movies again, The Lord of the Rings, and the Hobbit franchises for being one of the most expensive franchises ever made, Iron Man for creating the MCU and having the most successful franchise, and the Justice League Snyder Cut, showing that fans want to see the artist's original work of art. All movies are amazing works of art, and special effects have come a long way from the beginning, and artists will still continue to show these movies with the world. I'm Sean McDonald, and I'll see you guys at the movies. Bye-bye!
Made you look.